January 1, 1940, invention of the printing press. Johannes Gutenberg invented the printing press, which revolutionized the communication of psychological findings. With the ability to print and publish books, journals, and pamphlets about new psychological findings, other psychologists as well as the general public has access to printed information. 1879, First Psychology Laboratory. Wilhelm Wundt opens the first experimental laboratory in psychology at the University of Leipzig, Germany, credited with establishing psychology as an academic discipline. Wundt's students include Edmund Graepel, James Cattell, and G. Stanley Hall. 1896, First Psychology Clinic. In 1896, Leibniz Whitmer established the world's first psychological clinic at the University of Pennsylvania. There, he developed new approaches for the assessment, treatment, and education of children. Whitmer adopted interdisciplinary approaches utilizing nurses, physicians, psychologists, social workers, teachers, and others, all working of his clinic. 1905, IQ test developed. Introduced by Albert Binet and published as the Simon Binet test in 1905, the first tool for the assessment of intelligence was aimed to detect and support children with special needs. The items included in this test: battery-reflected age, appropriate intellectual ability. Using standardized tests, Alfred Binet and Theodore Simon developed a scale of general intelligence on the basis of mental age. Later, researchers refined this work into the concept of intelligence quotient, or IQ, the mental age over physical age. From the beginning, such tests' accuracy and fairness are challenged.
1921, Rorschach test was created. Swiss psychiatrist Hermann Rorschach devised a personality test based on patients' interpretations of ink blots. The Rorschach test is a projective psychological test in which subjects' perception of ink blots are recorded and then analyzed using psychological interpretation, complex algorithms, or both. Some psychologists use this test to examine a person's personality, characteristics, and emotional functioning. January 1, 1929, invention of EEG. Psychiatrist Hans Berger invents the electroencephalogram and tests it on his son. The device graphs the electrical activity of the brain by means of electrodes attached to the head. This expanded knowledge of psychology by providing a non-invasive functional method of scanning the brain. 1938, electroconvulsive therapy began. Italian psychiatrist and neuropathologist Ugo Cerletti and his associates began to treat human patients with electrical shocks to alleviate schizophrenia and psychosis. ECT, while controversial, is proven effective in some cases and is still in use in 2001. January 1, 1972, invention of CT scan. The CT scan was invented by two independent scientists, Godfrey Hansfield in England and Alan Cormack in the United States. The first machines were installed between 1974 and 1976. The CT scan enables direct imaging of the brain, and it can detect brain tumors and other brain abnormalities.
January 1, 1973, invention of MRI. The MRI imaging was invented by Paul C. Lauterbur. The MRI scan was first demonstrated in 1973. The magnetic resonance imaging creates a strong magnetic field around the brain and gives psychologists a non-invasive way to structurally scan the brain. This is a technological tool still utilized today, and it greatly influenced the field of psychological knowledge of the brain. 1974, PET scanner tested. A new brain scanning technique, positron emission tomography, PET, is tested. Hofmann and Phelps developed PET, an imaging system that provides the means to watch and measure biochemical processes in the human body. By tracing chemical markers, PET maps brain function in more detail than earlier techniques. January 1, 1981, personal computer. Beginning in 1981, the personal computer was launched by IBM. This significantly furthered the knowledge of psychology through technology by creating a personal device that people can communicate through and gain knowledge of published papers or newly discovered psychological data. Laptops and search engines have made highly specialized psychology information available for students whenever and wherever they are able to connect to the internet.
January 1, 1989, World Wide Web. In 1989, the World Wide Web was created by Tim Berners-Lee. Utilizing the multifaceted abilities of the internet, a student in psychology has more technology at their disposal than ever before. From researching paper topics to taking notes in class, the computer can successfully perform a plethora of tasks, which formerly required the student to spend unlimited hours at the university library manually taking notes. January 1, 1990, invention of fMRI. The fMRI technique was created in 1990 by a group at Bell Laboratories led by Seiji Ogawa. The invention of the functional magnetic resonance imaging machine was a groundbreaking scanner that significantly impacted the gain of psychological knowledge through technology. The fMRI machine measures changes in the oxygen levels in the brain, which is an indicator of blood flow, a property of cortical activity. fMRI scanning was revealed important and groundbreaking information such as that the brain is in constant activation as well as an insight. June 17, 1998, online psychological surveys. With the invention of the internet, the ability to conduct psychological surveys online developed. In 1998, there were 35 internet experiments and surveys in the American Psychological Society list of psychological research on the net test that were once completed with pencil and papers are now done in computer. Test takers using computers can be fed different questions based on their answers of previous questions. Research psychologists and diagnosticians take advantage of this to create more accurate assessments. January 1, 2000, sequencing the human genome. The International Human Genome Sequencing Consortium announced that it had produced a draft human genome sequence that accounted for 90% of the human genome. 16 public research institutions around the world complete a working draft mapping of the human genetic code, providing a research basis for a new understanding of human development and diseases related to psychology.